Hi everybody, I'm Shannon and I am going to show you several different ways to make 3D flowers. The first one is this sort of pom-pom looking flower, and to make this we are going to use filter paper. All of the flowers I'm showing you today will use different Stampin' Up! Products, and you can probably come up with lots of your own ways as well, but this should spark your creativity and get you going. So this is a piece of filter paper, and I folded it accordion style all the way to the end. Now, once you get to this point, you want to layer it with a couple other pieces depending on how thick you want your pom-pom flower to be. If you just want one, it will look like this, which is more of like an angel or just a flat flower. But if you take several layers, I've got 3 layers here, that will have it, the flower will have more layers. So I'm going to just tie a knot with some baker's twine. Okay, then at this point you can fan these out. Oh, I forgot one step. So before we fan them out, we want to cut the edges and do a little bit of decorating like you're doing a paper doll or a snowflake. Just cut the corners, make them rounded. Because you can see here in this example, the edges are all kind of a scallopy look. So we'll do that again with this one. And now, just fan these out and separate them so that they stay standing apart from each other. Keep doing that until you have your finished version here. The second type is made with a little bit of cardstock and a punch using crisp cantaloupe and the 1 3/4 scallop punch. And then we want to, these are really tough right now, so we want to break them down a little bit so they're easier to mold. So this is just water. Just help us to kind of like make these more pliable. Now once we're here, then the next step is to take several layers and layer them on top of each other. And as you go towards the top, you kind of want to pinch in the center and get them a little bit smaller as you go, so that it does indeed look like a 3D flower. And you can continue to add more and more layers if you want to. A glue gun would probably work best with this so they dry really fast, and you can keep them close together. So the center of this flower, these cute little fringy pieces, start with a strip of Hello Honey. I've cut this one at 1 inch, and we want to break up the fibers again. Just run a bone folder a couple of times. And then it's also curving, which will come in handy in a few minutes. Then with our fringe scissors, you want to cut, but not all the way to the edge. Now, once we've cut one time, then we can go back and do a second round, kind of offset it a little bit so that it makes our fringe even smaller. And then if you want it still smaller, you can try that again, or depending on how even you get it, you could go back and touch up with your paper snips too to make them even tinier. And then, let's see, let's cut that off right there. And then the last step would be to wind it around like this, so you have your center of your flower. You just kind of spread it out like that and glue it down to the center. Here's another one that's similar to that one with using punches and just using a bone folder to curve those out. Flowers always have a little bit of texture to them. We don't want them to be flat on our project. So curve them up and give them some life. Next project is this flower. It's got some sparkle on it. This beautiful different light and dark contrast. I love it. So in order to get this, we would take our 1 3/4 inch punch and some shimmery white cardstock. Then I'm going to just cut a slit in those about to the center. And Then we're going to overlap those a little bit, which causes them to become a little cup shape. So use a little bit of fast fuse. And then when you get several all ready to go, you just layer them together and form them into a circular shape for the flower. Now you'll have to try it out a little bit and see how extreme you want to go with your cup shape there. Here's the finished version again, and the center of this one is fringy like the one that I just showed you before. The last type of flower I am going to show you uses some filter paper again. So this darling, fun little wispy flower. We get this look by using the Floral Framelits. And you can use any of these. I'm going to pick this one that has rounded edges. And then we're going to use our Big Shot. You can cut all of the layers at once. Now, usually our framelits will you just cut one piece of cardstock. But because the filter paper is so thin, we can cut more than one. So now we've got all those layers in here together. Before we do anything, we want to staple those. And then the next step is to separate all of these pieces. And this part can take a few minutes. Got to just separate every single layer. But it's an important step because it will be what makes everything look really beautiful. So I've already done this one right here. They're all separated. The last thing you want to do is take each individual layer and fold it up and then just kind of pinch it together or push down a little bit so that it stays standing up. And just do that with each individual layer. Now, there's one big difference between this one and the one that was on the project that I just showed you, and that's that one has some color to it. So with whatever color you like, I've got Blackberry Bliss. Just take a little spritzer and spritz your flower, and then it can add some additional life. Here's the finished project one more time. So you can see almost any color would look good on this project. I hope you enjoyed learning a few tips on how to make some paper flowers with Stampin' Up! Product. Contact your demonstrator to learn about other great paper crafting techniques or to order the product you need to start creating today. Thanks, have fun!